Well, in section 3 here, we're going to be solving equations with variables that are on both sides of the equal sign. And basically, if you follow these rules, you can solve just about any equation we could ever throw out in Algebra 1. The first step is to eliminate parentheses. That just goes without saying. Remember, this goes back to Unit 1, where we're talking about simplifying the algebraic expressions. You cannot do anything with an equation unless you get rid of the parentheses first. So if we need to use the distributive property, we'll have to do that first. Then on each side, look at your left side of the equal sign and combine all your like terms. Look at the right side of the equal sign, combine all of your like terms there. Here's where things get a little bit different here in section 3. If there are variables on both sides of the equal sign, we need to move them all to one side. Here's what I mean by that. Take a look at this example here, in that we have 3x plus 2 equals x minus 4. Notice there are x's on both sides of the equal sign. Well, I'm going to take the one that's on the right side, this one here, and I'm going to cancel it out. It's a positive x. It would take a minus x to cancel it out. And look what happens. I only get the negative 4 on the right side now. What happens on the left side? Well, whatever you do to one side of the equal sign, you have to do to the other. So on the left side, we have 3x minus x, which is 2x. Bring down the plus 2 equals the negative 4. Then what do? Now we have an equation where there's just a variable on the one side, which is what we've been dealing with all this time. So I'm going to cancel this 2 by subtracting it from both sides. And now I get 2x is equal to negative 6. Dividing both sides by 2, I get x is equal to negative 3. Let's look at number 1. There are no parentheses that I need to get rid of. There are no like terms on the left side and no like terms on the right side. I go to step 3. I need to get all my variables to one side. Notice I have a 2x on the right side. I need to cancel it out. And there, again, I'm going back to that word, cancel. What's going to cancel a positive 2x on the right side? Well, a negative 2x. Well, whatever you do to one side, you do to the other side. So I'm going to line it up underneath the 6x. 6x minus 2x is 4x. Bring down the minus 3. Here's the equal sign that we have to keep track of. Once the 2x's cancel on the right side, the only thing I have over there is 13. And now we have an equation that we know how to handle just from the last unit, right? I have 4x minus 3 is equal to 13. I want to cancel out the minus 3 by adding 3 to both sides. I get 4x is equal to, now 13 and 3 are 16. When I divide both sides by 4, I get x equals 4. In number 2, I want to cancel out the 7x on the right side. How do we do that? It's positive 7x. It takes a minus 7x in order to do that. So whatever you do to one side, do to the other. Now on the left side, I have 3x minus 7x. Just do the math to get negative 4x. Keep doing the math. Bring down the plus 1 equals, this is a negative 5. Now I need to cancel out the negative 4 and I need to cancel out the 1. See, I'm trying to get the x by itself, right? So I need to isolate it. I'm getting rid of the negative 4. I'm getting rid of the 1. I'm going to cancel out the 1 first. Negative 4x is equal to negative 5 minus 1 is negative 6. Don't worry about what the numbers are. They will work themselves out in the end. You follow the rules. The rule says to take both sides and divide by negative 4. X equals, just reduce this fraction, 3/2. Number 3 is much easier than it might look. If you're going to get caught up in the fractions, you're not going to get very far. What I want you to do is follow the rules. The rule says cancel the variable on the right side. The term here is negative 3/5 x. How do you cancel negative 3/5 x? How do you get that across the equal sign? Well, what do we do up here? If it was a 7x, I went minus 7x. If it's 2x, I went minus 2x. If it's x, I went minus x. If it's minus 3/5 x, all I want you to do is plus 3/5 x. Don't worry about the fraction. It'll work itself out. Plus 3/5 x on both sides. Think cancel. Negative 3/5 x and positive 3/5 x will cancel each other out. And you're left with 7 on the right side. Well, on the left side, all you need to do is just do the math. The math says take 2/5 x plus 3/5 x, you get 1x, bring down the minus 9, add 9 to both sides, you get x is equal to 16. Number 4, I have a positive 8p. I need to cancel it out. And notice I'm always canceling the one on the right side. Why? Because then my variable x, or whatever variable it is that we have, will be on the left side. So I'm always going to cancel the one on the right. So if it's a positive 8p, it takes a negative 8p to cancel it out. Well, we do that on the left side as well. I get negative 2. I have positive 10p minus 8p is positive 2p, so it's plus 2p. Equals, now once these guys cancel out, you're left with negative 1. I'm going to cancel out this negative. See, here's the p that I want by itself. I'm going to cancel out the negative 2 by adding 2 to both sides of the equal sign. Always go to the other side of the equal sign. 2p is equal to negative 1 plus 2, 1. Dividing both sides by 2, I get p is equal to 1/2. Using the distributive property, negative 3 times a is negative 3a. Negative 3 times negative 5 is positive 15, so it's plus 15. Minus the 15 from both sides. Here's your equal sign, right? Negative 6 minus 15, negative 21. These guys cancel, negative 3a. I need to divide both sides by negative 3. And I get a is equal to 7. In number 6, now we have the parentheses on the right side. Still, it doesn't change anything. Follow the rule. We have 75 minus 9x on the left side. But in using the distributive property, I'm going to be taking 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. And then 5 times 2x is 10x. Follow the rule. The rule is I'm going to cancel the one on the right side. Cancel the x on the right side. So it's a positive 10x. It'll take a negative 10x to do that. So I have 75. Negative 9x minus 10x negative 19x is equal to negative 20. Minus the 75 on both sides. Negative 19x is equal to, that's right, negative 95. Dividing both sides by negative 19, get x is equal to 5. Page 2. Again, solving story problems. Whenever you're translating a sentence into an equation, what are we supposed to find? That's right, we're supposed to find the equal sign. What word are we looking for here that's going to be key in finding that? And that's is. So, or the phrase that contains is. 14 times a number decreased by 8 is, well, there it is. There's your equal sign. Let's write an equation. Whatever comes before the word is will be before the equal sign. Whatever comes after will be after the equal sign. Let's see what we have before the equal sign. I have 14 times a number decreased by 8. That needs to be translated into an algebraic expression. 14 times a number. Well, let's use n as our number. And 14 times that would be 14n. Decreased by would be a minus sign, and minus 8 equals what? 22 increased by 20 times the same number. 22 increased by would be plus 20 times the same number. So 22 plus 20n. Now, in this equation, I have n's on both sides of the equal sign. I need to get those together. So I'm going to take the one on the right side and cancel it out, minus 20n. So now I have 14 minus 20 is negative 6n. Bring down the minus 8 equals, bring down the 22. Add 8 to both sides. Negative 6n is equal to 30. When you divide both sides by negative 6, get n is equal to negative 5. The difference of 63 and a number is the same as the sum of twice a number and 3. Let's find our equal sign. Is, oh, there we go, is the same as, right? Box that, that's your equal sign. Whatever comes before that will be before the equal sign. Well, the difference of 63 and a number. The little difference means subtract, so 63 minus n. Then we have the sum of twice a number and 3. The sum of means we're going to be adding something. What are we going to be adding? Well, twice a number would be 2n and 3. So I'm going to take the n's on the right side and cancel them out. So I'm going to have 63, bring it down. Now I have negative 1n minus 2n is negative 3n is equal to 3. Minus the 63. Now don't look at this minus sign and think we need to add 63. Remember, we need to cancel positive 63. It'll take a negative 63 to do that. The negative sign goes with the 3. That's negative 3n is equal to 3 minus 63 is negative 60. Dividing both sides by negative 3, n is equal to 20. And lastly, number 3, 18 less than 12 times the number is equal to 13 times the number increased by 18. 18 less than 12 times a number is equal to, so I want my equal sign. Now I need to take this and write an algebraic expression. 18 less than 12 times a number. Well, 12 times a number is going to obviously be 12n. 18 less than that. Now remember, with less than, we switch the order. So the 18 is what's being subtracted. So 12n minus 18. Now that'll be equal to, now we need to take 13 times the number increased by 18. Well, that's not bad. 13 times the number increased by 18. All right, so take the n's on the right side and cancel them out. It's positive 13n, so we're going to do minus 13n. 12 minus 13 is negative 1n. Minus 18 is equal to 18. Careful here. What's going to happen? I'm going to cancel out this minus 18 by doing plus 18. Go over here and do the same thing. Negative 1n is equal to 36. What's the coefficient here? Negative 1. So we're going to divide by negative 1 and get n is equal to negative 36. Good luck on your assignment. I will see you next time. Have a good day.